terrorist group. We don't want Taliban. We don't want Taliban. We don't want Taliban. Please hear our
In a
voice.
recent move, the Taliban authorities in Afghanistan have escalated their enforcement of strict dress codes for women, leading to the arrest of individuals deemed to be wearing bad hijabs. The spokesperson for Afghanistan's Vice and Virtue Ministry confirmed this development on Thursday, highlighting it as part of a broader range of regressive measures initiated by the Taliban since their resurgence to power 2 years ago. The arrests took place in Kabul, where women were detained for not complying with the Taliban's stringent regulations on female attire. Abdul Ghafar Farooq, the spokesperson for the Vice and Virtue Ministry, did not specify the number of women arrested for their bad hijabs, but he revealed that the arrests occurred 3 days ago. The spokesperson stated that female police officers were deployed for the arrests after the women failed to adhere to the ministry's guidance on appropriate dressing. This crackdown is indicative of the Taliban's rigorous measures to enforce their interpretation of Islamic values, comparable to the dress code regulations in neighboring Iran, which has mandated the hijab for decades. In May 2022, the Taliban issued a directive requiring women to cover their faces, revealing only their eyes and endorsing the use of the head-to-toe burqa, a move reminiscent of the restrictions imposed during the Taliban's previous rule from 1996 to 2001. The Vice and Virtue Ministry spokesperson mentioned that complaints regarding improper hijab in Kabul have been received for the past 2 years, prompting the issuance of guidelines to women. Farooq warned, "These are the few limited women who spread bad hijab in Islamic society. They violated Islamic values and rituals and encouraged society and other respected sisters to go for bad hijab. Police will refer the matter to judicial authorities, or the woman will be released on strict bail. In every province, those who go without hijab will be arrested." Since the Taliban assumed power in Afghanistan in 2021, the regime has imposed severe restrictions on women's rights, limiting freedom of expression, association, assembly, and movement. Women are prohibited from holding significant roles in all spheres of life, required to adhere to strict Islamic dress codes, and excluded from education and employment. Additional constraints include bans on women entering parks and gyms and traveling without a male relative. The recent arrests for bad hijabs are part of a systematic and comprehensive set of regressive measures taken by the Taliban since their resurgence to power 2 years ago. Teenage girls and women face prohibitions from attending classrooms, gyms, and parks, and they are also prohibited from working for the United Nations. Currently, women in Afghanistan are only allowed to work as nurses and doctors in hospitals under Taliban rule. However, reports suggest that increasing restrictions have led some women to work clandestinely from home as teachers and makeup artists. The closure of beauty parlors under the current Taliban rule evokes memories of the previous Taliban regime's restrictions on women's rights from 1996 to 2001. Although beauty salons were allowed to operate after the U.S. invasion in 2001, the Taliban has enforced measures such as covering and spray painting windows and posters featuring women. The recent crackdown on improper hijabs aligns with the Taliban's austerity measures, drawing parallels with neighboring Iran's long-standing imposition of the hijab. Earlier in 2022, the death of 22-year-old Iranian woman Mahsa Amini garnered global attention. She was brutally beaten by the morality police for wearing an improper hijab, which revealed some of her hair. The incident fueled outrage worldwide, prompting protests against Iran's treatment of women. The Taliban's enforcement of strict dress codes resonates with Iran's approach, with both regimes exhibiting an unwavering stance on controlling women's attire. While the Iranian police attributed Amini's death to illness, her case continues to highlight concerns about the harsh consequences faced by women who resist such stringent regulations.